Chapter 6 Utter Independence. Be careful what you wish for. This time around, Mom had no one to rely on. She had to create some sort of structure and discipline for me to take care of me, as it was only her and I that, at the moment, were living in a huge apartment. What really helped her had been the partial lingering services from the battered women's shelter, which provided a nursery for me for Mom's convenience virtually for free, even though she was no longer a resident there. Since Israel is about a collective effort of getting things accomplished, Mom did have to spend fortunes for the care of me there. Still, Mom was economizing as much as she could on bus trips during rainy seasons, which forced the two of us to trek all the way there. The nursery had such a system that children had to be brought before 8 in the morning, when the gates promptly shut, and if too late, too bad for the parent. Providence determined it so that we were late, at which point the gates were tightly shut, but Mom needed to go to work, and in its predictable consequence, it caused a problem. Mom decided to pick me up by holding me by the shoulder straps of my backpack, and she successfully got me over the gate, hoping that I would go into the building willingly, which would have been a double success. Instead, though, I stood like a bolt wedged to the ground on the opposite side and started crying. Mom understood that she couldn't leave a crying child by herself, so she came to the conclusion that she would have to hop over the fence on her own accord. In the attempt, the 27-year-old body was not as elastic as it used to be at 10 years old, when she used to hop over the fence with no problem. Although understanding that fact, Mom persevered, and she raised her long skirt up to the hip and resorted to climbing that stubborn gate, exposing her white underwear that she well remembers to be white for not wanting to get them dirty by the gate, to the traffic behind her. As a result, the crowd became distracted by the scene instead of concentrating on driving, causing accidents. When Mom climbed to the top, her skirt and her physical balance restrained her from getting down to the other side, at which point she was stuck, looking down on the cheerful honking of the traffic from above while saddling the gate like one does a horse. For the great disturbance and circus scenery that Mom ingeniously had plotted came forth a knight to save Mom from the heights of the tower of the gate, who turned out to be a policeman named Gabby. He carefully took a hold of Mom's body and expertly put her down, while contacting the teachers of the kindergarten, asking them to take me in. Since that incident, the officer made sure to check the gate for the duration of a month to make sure that things went smoothly, and as a result, Mom and he became good friends. He supplied food for us time to time and helped Mom manhandle furniture into the apartment that she got from donations. Next time, as Mom was already well experienced in the matter, she prepared to leave the house extra early, while I was lingering behind and taking my sweet time as usual. Along with me, I wanted to bring a ball, but Mom thought that carrying both me and the ball beside traffic was both dangerous and somewhat toilsome for her. In irritation and impulsivity, Mom pushed me towards the threshold of the door, snatching the ball out of my hands, throwing it into the apartment, shutting the door close without any further thought, and staring at me without the ball while I was staring back at her with my round, big green eyes. We were staring at each other questioningly, trying to understand what each other did, when all of a sudden it dawned on Mom that she forgot the keys inside the apartment and had got into an unavoidable consequence of being locked out. Mom thought that it was too early to panic, so we proceeded to walking to the nursery as if nothing had transpired. After work, before it was time to pick me up, Mom thought that she would do what she would do next. She decided to go to the nearest grocery store, explain her situation to the manager of the store, and ask what she should do about such a matter. The manager, in his kindness, called the locksmith, who told her that they would open the door for her for 500 shekels, which to Mom was like $1,000. Although Mom had not spoken to Dad since the time that she escaped from him. Mom felt that she had no choice and she was going to have to contact him after all. Mom dialed Dad's number, and without any details, she just said that she needed his help. She didn't specify what exactly was the matter in fear that he would not want to come. Dad was promptly responsive and quickly came from Ashdod. Mom told him everything next to her locked door. While the neighbors overheard the predicament and offered that Dad would climb over from their porch into Mom's apartment. At the beginning, Dad was filled with confidence and went towards the neighbor's porch, but he hesitated, confessing that he was scared of heights since it was the fourth floor after all. Mom tried to comfort him by saying that 500 shekels was a lot scarier, and Mom promised to hold him by, this time, his dressy pants to raise the chances of him not falling. Dad gathered all the agility he had and climbed over to successfully open the door. Out of happiness, Mom forgot her indignation towards him and kissed him by his sumptuous mustache. She was so relieved and elated that her heart started pounding hard. In return, Mom fed him with a delicious lunch, and they were on good terms since. Mom used that peace treaty with Dad to her own benefit. Since Mom didn't understand the industry of material shopping and didn't want to get ripped off, she asked Dad to help her find an affordable TV and a laundry machine. There was one interesting incident worth mentioning that taught Mom a lesson once and for all after experiencing it. While passing by the grocery store where the produce section was put outside, Mom had me in a carriage, my Malvina. Usually, when she needed to buy certain groceries inside the store, she took me out of my Malvina, the cherished carriage that served me so faithfully, because the entrance door was too narrow to go through with Malvina holding me in her arms as she strolled through the aisles of the store. Above me hung all kinds of appetizing food on display, such as pastrami, and I just daringly reached out with my hand in Mom's arms and started eating it in front of the eyes of the sellers. Although the product was expensive, Mom was forced to buy it. For these inconveniences, this time upon entering the store, Mom peeked inside the store, and it seemed like it wasn't so busy. Mom decided that it would be easier for her to leave me outside the store with Malvina, and she would take less than 5 minutes to purchase all she needed. There was a dog outside, and Mom baited to watch after me. I was fastened in my carriage with the belt of Malvina. Everything seemed safe. I was still 2 years old, and in my childish cleverness, I fastened the belt cinched tightly around me, dexterously managed to get out of the sheltering boat of my Malvina, and went to chasing the dog, who miserably failed at Mom's assigned task. While embarking myself towards my first adventure of my life, I was probably exhilarated with the passers-by and the activity of the street. I walked as if Alina was going to work, get tired and start crawling, and then back to walking, going farther and farther from Mom's presence, with so much bravery like no other. The passers-by looked at me with major concern, thinking where in the world were the parents. And then, as I continued, I reached an intersection. Seeing the red light in the distance, I was so mesmerized by it, and I was determined to reach it. As soon as my palms touched the asphalt of the intersection, someone grabbed me, probably thinking, "Girl, you have had enough adventure to last you a lifetime. Let's go find your crazy mother." Meanwhile, Mom purchased what she needed, conducted small talk with the cashier. "How are you doing?" she hastily asked. "I am fine, thank you." And she resorted to exiting the store. Mom looked inside the Malvina, acquainting herself with the uncomfortable side of its emptiness. Mom didn't get panicked yet. She knew I liked to rock Malvina from behind. So she looked around, and there was no sight of me. She looked in different directions, and not the slightest hint of me. Then the panic, still not to its extreme, was slightly raised, and she started questioning the passers-by if they happened to see a little girl in a pink dress anywhere. People responded that they did not. Then the panic was raised to moderate, and Mom started thinking that I was stolen. To her luck, mostly everybody knew her and me, so people started to suggest filling out a missing child's report and calling the police as they surrounded her semi-franticness. Mom didn't think that it was yet necessary because I shouldn't have gone far. She was only gone for about 5-10 minutes. The more time passed by, the more her panic rose. But suddenly, Mom saw in the distance a man with a graceful stride advancing towards her and holding the hand of a child. She later on recognized him to be the police officer Gabby, the one that had held Mom down from the gate, but only this time without a uniform, and the child turned out to be me. While walking towards Mom, I was crying. In one hand, I was holding Gabby's hand, and in another, I was wiping my eyes full of tears, at which point Mom understood that although I was brave at the beginning, at some point the experience had petrified me. Mom took me into her arms, kissed me, calmed me down, and realized how precious I had been to her. In return, Mom asked where Gabby found me, and he told her that some woman approached him who had witnessed seeing me to get out of my carriage in chase after the dog. She told him that I was walking the streets without any sight of parents and found me in the process of crossing an intersection. Gabby recognized me from the last time and brought me to reconcile with Mom. Since that experience, Mom has never managed to lose me ever again.